So when I was asked to speak today, I was thinking about the topic and I thought, well, what would be a really good idea? So I thought, well, why not talk about inspiration and talk about how we actually stay motivated, right? As a life coach, I work with a lot of Muslim sisters in various areas. I mean, in terms of women that come to me, we talk about, changing self-esteem, changing confidence, looking at basically making a change. So one of the most important things that I notice is that when people come to me, they feel a bit stuck. A little bit stuck with whatever area, and they're basically looking to create a change. So either they're looking to overcome procrastination or whatever area it is, either they want to start a business or improve their self-esteem. They're basically looking to get motivation. They're looking to get motivation to change. And I'm just wondering, sitting in this room, as I've been here, I've been wondering whether any of you or anyone you know has experienced something like this. Feeling a bit down and a bit caught up in the daily rat race. Can anyone relate to that? I'm seeing some people saying that they can. Maybe there isn't a lot of excitement in day-to-day life. Anyone? Yeah? Okay, good. Feeling a bit restless, want to do something, maybe not sure what. Anyone in that position? Okay. I'm seeing a few nods, so that's always a good thing. And maybe you actually know what you want to do, but you're not sure how to go about it. Okay. So there are different people in different positions today. So as we talk today, or as I'm going to talk with you, please look at the position that you're in and just explore for yourself, right? What would be most useful for you? So that's what we're going to talk about. So what we're going to talk about today is looking at how we actually take those steps. How do we A, figure out what we want to do, and B, how do we do it? How do we get inspiration? How do we get motivation to do it? So first step, let's look at what motivation actually is. What do you think motivation is? Anyone?
To get up and go.
Exactly, it's to get up and go, isn't it? In fact, the word motivation originates from the Latin word to move. So when you think of, motor vehicles, motivation, motor car, motion, you think of motion, right? So you think of the get up and go, you think of taking action, you think of encouraging yourself or encouraging someone else to move. Sound familiar? Yes? I think people are with me so far. Okay. So usually motivation implies a push of some kind, doesn't it? So either you're pushing yourself or somebody else is pushing you, is encouraging you to keep going, right? So let's look at motivation through a metaphor. Imagine that you've got a car and it basically just stalls. So you've got to call AAA or whoever you use to come and jumpstart it. So the jump starting is that external motivator. It's that motivating force, yes? Gets you going. And what usually happens after that? Either one or two things, right? The car gets going and everything's fine, the battery's charged and you're up and ready. Otherwise, sometimes what happens is you get going for a little while and everything's fine, and then you stall again. Is this familiar to anyone? And this is also about life, right? So imagine, okay, we were talking about diet and exercise and fitness earlier, and some people were saying that they've been on a diet and fitness regime before, and it just kind of can anyone relate to that? I don't know, I can. I mean, if I'm being honest, right? So, what happens is you get going, you've got everything you want to say, I'm really going to do this now. And then after a while, it just gets a bit hard and you lose steam. Yeah? So, and when we actually lose steam, it's quite disempowering, isn't it? It's that much harder to get back on track. Isn't it? The second time is much harder. The first time is usually easier. Every time you lose track, it's much harder to get back on. So, how do you do it? How do you actually stay on track? How do you A, figure out what you want to do, and then B, stay on track to do it? So the key really here, I'm going to tell you the key. Excited anyone? Want to know the key? Yes. Yes. Okay, good, that's it. The key is not just to be motivated, but to be inspired. Okay. So no matter what your background, no matter to what lifestyle, what step, isn't it? In order to achieve anything, we need to know what we want. Imagine you get into a car and you're going somewhere. You need to put the destination in your mind, don't you, or in your GPS. You're not just going to get up and go without having that destination. So every single day, it's really important to ask, well, what do I really want? And I invite you to buy a journal. This is again the practical tip here. Buy a journal that you can use to use for your own journey, basically, to document your own journey and to keep track. And every day, at some point in every day, write on a clean piece of paper, what do I really, really want? And then answer that question spontaneously. Don't don't censor yourself too much. Don't hold yourself back. Just allow yourself to answer the question and see what happens. And I invite you to do this over a period of a month at least. And then when you go back and look at it, you might see some common themes emerging. And this will really give your life some direction. You begin to think, oh, this is the direction that I want